Hello students. Today we are going to look at the animal behavior. In that we will be looking at the various experiments that Lawrence and Pavlov have conducted to understand animal behavior. Now in that, one of the experiment which they conducted was the cockroach behavior. Now I have given it my own name, that is a cockroach, how it behaved under different conditions of light. Okay, right? Now in this experiment what they did was, they took a box, okay, and they divided that into 4 compartments. Okay. Now in those 4 compartments, one side of it, okay, was in the light, okay, and the other side of it was in the dark. Okay, right? So this part was in the light and this part was in the dark. Okay. Now though they have kept the light conditions on one side and dark on the other side, they have put one more condition here, that is, they have added calcium chloride in one of this chamber. Okay. They have added calcium chloride, that is CaCl2, calcium chloride. Okay. Now what does this calcium chloride do? It absorbs all the moisture present in this particular compartment. Okay, it absorbs all the moisture. Now in the second compartment in where there was light, they have put a cotton wool. Okay, they have put a cotton wool. Now this cotton wool was wet. They have put a wet cotton wool. Okay. Now what happens? In the presence of light, there will be moisture in this particular compartment. Here there is no moisture, here there is moisture. Okay. Now same way they did here also. Okay. Dry and dark, that is CaCl2 was put here. Okay, right? Then the next one was a cotton wool here. Okay, right? Now after this conditions were set, okay, what they did, they started releasing cockroaches into it. Okay. Okay, they started releasing cockroaches into it. Okay. Now they investigated the number of cockroaches, that is, they counted the number of cockroaches they are releasing into these particular chambers. Okay. And mind you, these chambers were not closed, but they were a little open so that the cockroach can enter from one chamber to another chamber. Okay, right? Now after providing with all these conditions, what these animal behaviorists understood was, cockroaches, they preferred dark and damp conditions. Okay, because whatever cockroaches they left in all these compartments, okay, they started moving into the dark and damp compartment. So here the concentration of, okay, here the concentration of cockroach was more. Okay, so most of the cockroaches, they were present in this particular compartment. Now with this experiment, what these behaviorists or Lawrence and Pavlov concluded was, cockroaches preferred dark and damp conditions. What do the cockroaches prefer? They preferred dark and damp conditions. Okay, right? Now once they understood this, they made a statement saying that, okay, cockroaches prefer dark and dry conditions. Now you might have seen cockroaches coming out of pipes. Okay, you might have seen cockroaches present in the drainages. Okay, now why are the cockroaches coming there? It is because of this particular condition, that is, in the drainage pipes, the pipes are dry and also they are damp. Okay, or they are moistened. They are moist in nature. Okay, sometimes some cockroaches come into your washroom also from the pipes into the washroom. Okay, right? So that is because these cockroaches prefer these kind of conditions. Okay, right? Now, the next thing that I would like you to tell is the behavior of a dog. Okay, now dog, what do? Now dogs, when we look at them, if they look at their owners, they won't bark. But if they look at a stranger, they bark. Now that is the instinct of a dog. Okay. Now in the next thing, if you see a bird, okay, if you see a bird, or say for example, what should I say, a weaver bird, a tailor bird in fact. If we take a tailor bird, what will happen? The tailor bird, when it builds its nest, okay, it takes two broad leaf, okay, from the bottom, and then it covers them up with one more leaf on the top, and it collects threads and needles, from various places, and it starts stitching those particular leaves so that it makes a small nest in which it can stay. Okay. Now even bats. Now bats, you know that they are nocturnal. That means they come out in the night only. Okay, right? And they prefer to stay in the dark. Now that is their instinct. Okay, and you see birds building different types of nests. Okay, the necessity is the same. That is, they have to care for their young, but the way they build their nests is different. Okay, the way they build the nest is different. Now say for example, we have beavers also. You know what beavers are? Beavers are one of the organisms which stay in marshy areas. Okay. Now these beavers, what they do, if they have to say colonize in a particular area of a river, what they do, they build a small dam with twigs, waste twigs, wooden pieces, everything. They build a very big small kind of a dam on that particular river. Okay, or not on the river, on a pond. Okay, and then the other side of the pond they start living. Okay, now that is their instinct. That is how they survive. That is how they make their young to grow. Okay, now similarly, even the cockroach also prefers dry and damp conditions. Now that is the instinct that they have developed from evolution. Okay, now if you take some other examples, say for example, a farmer is there. A farmer has bulls with him. Okay, a farmer will have bulls with him. Now this farmer, after the ploughing is over with the bulls, he takes out the load on the neck, okay, and he ties them to the shed. Okay. Now what these bulls do, in the morning when the farmer comes and unties it, these bulls will straight away go to that particular plough. Okay, and they will wait until the farmer comes and ties them to the neck, ties that particular plough to the neck. So that is an instinct that these bulls have developed. Okay, so that is one kind of a behavior that these bulls have developed. Now if we look at some more examples here, we can look at say puppies and kittens. Okay, they play with a cloth. I don't know why they play, but they play with a cloth immensely when they are young. Okay, now why? It is their instinct. It is their instinct in which they play. Okay, so these are few examples which you can observe in your daily life as well. Okay, you can observe in your daily life and you can understand about animal behavior. Okay, so I hope that you have understood this cockroach behavior experiment, and once more I will repeat, the cockroach prefer dark and damp conditions for their survival. Okay, right? So thank you so much.